Hello, welcome. It's the Ball Street Social Club. We've got Irah from UPTV, we've got Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV, and we've got a walking wounded Baz from Toffee TV. I just want to clarify that's not from over celebration or any other type of overexertion.
Nothing to do with it whatsoever.
So, treatment table.
Yeah. A pretty interesting weekend's worth of action. Nothing major to talk about. No major talking points at all. No, I guess we have to start with Rodgers, really. I mean, obviously, I've covered it to death on Redmen TV. I'll still give you points, but I'm quite interested to know what other people think about it. I mean, Robbie, what was your take on it from the outside looking in? Good move by the Reds.
First of all, the news. I was kind of shocked when I heard it because you didn't lose the game to Everton. Liverpool won, Everton won, so it's a draw. So I was kind of shocked that the way in which they did it. I'm like, if you're going to sack the guy, do it after a loss. So yeah. I was a bit surprised in the way in which it was done, but then I'm not surprised because it's everyone's kind of known for weeks that the writing's kind of been on the wall. But what I don't understand with these clubs is why not just get rid of a guy in the summer? Mm-hmm. Why let him, spend a load of money? Well, if he did spend the money, let him spend a load of money and go into a new season. I don't understand it. So
it's a weird one.
It is
because
strange.
I mean, Baz, Everton are a good example, I suppose, of a club that you could easily have given Martinez the boot in the summer. I guess there was a lot, and there were calls for it from the fans as well. But you've kept with him, and you're far better this season, I think, than you were last season so far. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's expectation levels and stuff, isn't it? Obviously, I mean, I wouldn't say a lot of people were calling for his head. For Martinez's head in the summer, but Everton they're on a different cycle in Liverpool, aren't they? I think I've read a couple of pieces and it kind of tied in with my thinking is that sometimes Liverpool's history, and we like to have a pop here obviously for it, but I guess we all do it. Yeah. Certainly Everton, Evertonians do, is that you can go back to that too often as your barometer, whereas it's almost Liverpool, for me, looking on it from the outside, you've got to kind of, and it's difficult to convince the fans this, but you've got to almost rip the history up and use that as that was great then, but this is about now.
You were saying to me earlier that we should wipe the slate clean in 1992,
well,
which I'm sure I would be absolutely delighted to agree with. No, because football started in 1992, isn't that right?
Some people it did, yeah.
We'll be even more successful than them in 92, so we'd go back to that anytime, thank you. But no, I don't mean it like that, but what I mean is, if you've grown up with that kind of expectation, it doesn't always ring true in modern day. And at the moment, I think Liverpool are caught between trying to appease a lot of supporters who want them back at that top level, of course. Everyone wants to be at the top level. Yeah. But it's the time scale that it takes to do that. And the next manager will come in, and I'm quite sure you on your channel and Chris will be saying, got to give him time now to get this right. But you don't necessarily get time. Brendan Rodgers, realistically, he's had nearly £300 million. Okay, come very close to winning the league.
Gross, though, Robbie.
These fellas are all about net spending. Jesus. But it's a time scales, isn't it?
The only thing, I guess, from Liverpool's perspective, I'll come to you in a second on this side, is that if Liverpool still, I think it's good in some respects that Liverpool still harbour the ambitions of being what they were, because I understand what you're saying, but if you start to say, okay, then Liverpool are a fifth base club, well, you're on the hand to becoming a seventh place club and an eighth and a ninth and a 10th. I know we have finished it a lot recently, but if you've got to set your goals as high as possible, and if you fall short, there is the added pressure with it. I don't mean
goal setting. No, goal setting should be to win the league. Liverpool should be trying to win the league every single season. That's your goal. You've got to set that. Yeah. No good saying. As an Evertonian, I want us to win trophies and finish in the top four. That's not happened for 20 years, but doesn't stop me every summer thinking we can have a go at the top four. Not so.
If only there was a song about that.
Well, yeah, you never know, would you? But it's about being realistic, and it's higher up, isn't it? It's higher up. There's forums, there's Twitter, there's everything else. This gathers pace. It's difficult, I think, for any manager. If you get a manager in now who comes in and wants to spend time blending the squad together and trying to build you, he mightn't see the rewards of that for 3 years. Will he get 3 years?
It's just, we'll talk about the weight of expectation, I guess. We'll be discussing United and Arsenal a bit later on, because I'm sure Robbie will be delighted to do a bit more of that. But go on, look at it. There's obvious jokes. We see a lot from United fans in comments on social media and stuff that probably would have been delighted to see Brendan Rodgers keep the job. But everyone likes to think that if a guy's not doing well, keep him in. Keep him in the position. What was your take?
We thought he was doing a great job. He should have been kept on. Who's going to be the butt of our jokes now?
Can't be Moyes anymore, can it? No, this is what. So just to move the Liverpool conversation on a touch before we move on to other things. If Liverpool were to get a manager like Jurgen Klopp in, would you be fearful of what kind of impact Liverpool could have for the season, Robbie?
I am fearful if they get someone like a Jurgen Klopp, which is, I think he's the favourite to get the job, is what I understand, or even an Ancelotti. You've got to be fearful because these are top class managers. So I don't know, but then on the other hand, we have to remember with Klopp, even though we all think he's this great manager, his last season at Dortmund was disastrous, and they at one time were fighting relegation. So, and just going back to the Rodgers thing, the really little bit why I do feel a bit sorry for him, because I do want to see, like, I don't want to see Liverpool be more successful than we are, Arsenal. I do, but then having said that, I did enjoy that season. I must say that I did enjoy the way Liverpool played that season, in which you guys nearly won the title. Yeah. I thought that the style of football that Rodgers played was tremendous. The way he had the team playing. I remember when we got beaten by you guys 5-1. That was outstanding football. I had to just sit back that day and say, you know what, they were awesome. Yeah. And I feel a bit sorry for him that he's not been able. He's lost his best players. Mm-hmm. He's not been able to replace them with the same quality of players. I kind of feel a bit sorry for him because he was nearly there. Yeah. He was nearly, and as a British manager, he would have been like nearly there and he could have won it. Yeah. So you got to feel a bit for him in that aspect, and it's just going to be another foreign manager now that's going to come in and replace him, sort of thing. So it would have been nice in a way to have seen him kind of succeed, but you don't get a chance now. No, there's no chances.
Go ahead. So what? I mean, Klopp is the kind of guy that Man United fans have had an eye on. I think Arsenal fans have had an eye on him as well to some extent. Would that worry you personally? Would you be upset to see him managing another club in the Premier League?
Well, obviously Liverpool, they're our biggest rivals, and United fans, we have got a lot of respect for Klopp and what he's done at Dortmund. The one thing that I'd say is Rodgers had struggled to attract world-class players to Liverpool, whereas if you brought Klopp in, he'd be able to bring in those players.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of Dortmund players' phone numbers, which is a good
that's
start.
it. Yeah. So that'd be the first port of call, wouldn't it? Anyone who's
Marco,
mate.
It's not as easy as
Imagine Twitter. Royce get seen at Melwood.
We couldn't attract him in the summer, but
Well, there you go. That's maybe all you needed. Was a glasses wearing, blonde haired, angry German in the dugout, like as opposed to a tic tac headed angry Dutchman. You had
to have a thing.
Absolutely. What are we here for? But yeah, so I'd be interested to know people watching at home what your thoughts are on that and whether you think Klopp would be the right man for Liverpool. Of course, fans of other clubs, would you be jealous to see that? I mean, one or two clubs I think will be eyeing up new managers in the summer. Is he one that you'd be annoyed if he's basically scratched off the list of availability?